Day of the Dead is a very distinct way of looking at, one of the most important events in human life, which is death. Day of the Dead is considered to be a celebration of death, which to us in the United States sounds very morbid or strange, peculiar. Our own holiday that's around the same time, Halloween, is more about evil spirits or restless spirits that threaten us and try to, keeping them at bay or making fun of them so they're not powerful. So in Mexico, it's the opposite. It's good spirits. It's spirits of people you knew, and you want to have this time to sit down with them, maybe have a conversation with them, prepare their favorite food, put on their favorite music, and just hang out. Basically, yes, with dead people, with spirits of dead people. So the altars that you will see in a typical Day of the Dead layout and celebration are significant. They're also aesthetic, just meant to be beautiful, but they have a deeper significance. Depending on who you talk to and what their perspective is on Mexican national culture, it could either be referred to sort of a Catholic altar, and many Catholics will have an altar in their house. And that household altar will also be a space where dead people are remembered. So you might have a picture of your dead parents or your dead grandparents, and you might maybe offer them like a little bit of liquor or a candle or some flowers on that altar in the house. There's also other people who are more conscious of the indigenous roots of Mexican culture. Think of them as sort of step pyramids. So some of them you'll find decorated like Mexica or Aztec step pyramids, or step pyramids from other Mesoamerican cultures. So the Day of the Dead has come to the United States through either Spanish descended people or indigenous people who were part of the Spanish Empire. The idea that during that time of year the barriers between this world and the other world, whether you think of it as heaven or some other kind of spirit world, that they're supposed to be a little bit thinner, a little more permeable, so it's easier to talk to people and bring them back for a small amount of time to be with you from the land of the dead or from heaven or wherever they're residing. There's a goth community in New Orleans, so goths focus sort of on a positive representation of death, have also appropriated Mexican Day of the Dead celebration because they feel it more adequately represents their vision of what death is than the mainstream American definitions. And you can see this in like Tim Burton films. He'll use like Mexican Day of the Dead symbolism in his films as like a gothic artist. And the people here who are goths will have their own parade on November 1st, and they'll march, I think, down Lower Decatur and have their own Day of the Dead celebration as well. Nobody really knows the true origins of the Day of the Dead, right? Now it's this big national Mexican celebration. With the revolution, you had this ideology of mestizaje, which is bringing together the European culture, the indigenous cultures, African cultures, fusing them together to make a unique Mexican national culture and a unique race, or like la raza is supposed to be this fusion of all these different elements. It's not any one of those things, but it's a little bit from each.